Good afternoon and welcome to TVM News. Today is Friday, March 12th. I'm Emma Rushworth.
And I'm Ellen France. Today we'll tell you about President Biden's German Shepherds.
We also have updates on the COVID-19 vaccinations and stimulus checks.
And we'll check in with TVM sports anchors Cheyenne Amick and Eric Spivak.
Marywood-University's Truth, Racial Healing, and Transformation Campus Center is hosting the Black Voices Speaker Series in March and April. The center will host a variety of scholars to speak on issues relating to the African diaspora. Online registration is required to attend. Visit marywood.edu/blackvoices to register.
Marywood School of Social Work will hold its Spring 2021 Colloquium virtually. The virtual event, titled The Culturally Woke Social Worker, Addressing Historical and Contemporary Racial Inequalities, will be held on Tuesday, March 30th. The event will be presented by Leah Richards-Palmater, PhD, Director of the Office of Diversity Efforts at Marywood, and will address the impact at the individual and community level to build a future that promotes healing and resilience.
Marywood is receiving a grant to help vocation exploration among students. The Council of Independent Colleges offers the Network for Vocation and Undergraduate Education, or NetView, grant to liberal arts colleges. Marywood will be receiving over $46,000 to be used over the next 2 years.
Marywood's Counseling and Student Development Center will host a virtual substance abuse prevention program on Tuesday, March 16th. Attendees of the event will be able to communicate with a panel of experts in a discussion to help them understand the importance of substance abuse. The event is free and open to Marywood students, faculty, and staff.
Marywood's South Campus building has been sold after 5 years on the market. The Jarrett Yoder Foundation purchased the former Scranton School for the Deaf located on North Washington Avenue. The foundation is based in helping veterans in the area. The center will provide counseling as well as housing and financial assistance. In a nod to President Joe Biden's Scranton roots, a room will be named for his late son Beau Biden, who served in the military.
Marywood alumnus Paul Capocha has been named the director of the university's new esports program. Marywood is now the 5th Atlantic East Conference school to form an esports team. Marywood joins alongside Immaculata University, Cabrini University, Marymount University, and Newman University. Marywood is currently in the process of developing an esports facility and will officially welcome team members and begin competing next fall. When we get back, we'll tell you about a lawsuit between an energy company and the state of Pennsylvania.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies. Selfie, nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's split a ride home.
Because of you, I felt hopeless.
I know it was a joke, but it still hurt me.
Because of you, I felt wanted and not alone in this world.
Because you said hi to me on the first day of school, I felt included and I knew that I was going to be okay.
When we found out that we were pregnant, we were just elated. We were just sitting there waiting for the pediatrician. She said she won't be taking you in as a client.
We are a lesbian couple, but she's just a baby. She's the one you're denying the service to.
Welcome back to TVM News. Pennsylvania settled with Chesapeake Energy this week after a year-long lawsuit over leaseholders' rights. Attorney General Josh Shapiro announced on Monday that the natural gas company engaged in deceptive business practices in order to secure rights to land in Pennsylvania. Chesapeake, which emerged from Chapter 11 bankruptcy last month, will pay $5.3 million to Pennsylvania landowners. The payments will be sent out in the next 6 to 8 months.
A Forest City Regional High School senior is collecting donations of bottled water to send to Texas. Madison McCracken of Susquehanna County has started an initiative to send bottled water to the people of Texas after the state was hit by a winter storm. McCracken's goal was to have sent 2,000 cases of water by Tuesday, along with some money to help the people who still have no electricity or running water.
Data shows that coronavirus vaccinations are on the rise in Lackawanna County. Roughly 14% of Lackawanna County's residents have received both doses of a COVID vaccine. Lackawanna County is the 4th highest in the state with getting its residents vaccinated. Due to a limited supply of vaccinations, giving people their second dose has been the main priority. 10% of Lackawanna County residents have received just one of the vaccines.
3 Luzerne County Election Board members were removed by the Wilkes-Barre City Council. Councilman Stephen Urban was selected as chairman of the election board, even though previous rules state that a county council member cannot hold a position on the election board. Urban is the 3rd member of the election board to leave this year, causing a lot of controversy for local politicians.
A Lackawanna County doctor pled guilty to receiving cash kickbacks in exchange for Medicare patient DNA samples. Starting in 2018, Lee Beeson of Waverly, Pennsylvania, began receiving cash payments in exchange for his Medicare patients' DNA samples. The DNA samples were being sent to a lab in New Jersey, and Beeson was reportedly receiving between $500 and $8,000 per sample. Beeson will be sentenced to prison in July.
A local bar has been cited multiple times for breaking COVID-19 protocol. Captain Jackson Tawanda has received multiple violations from the Pennsylvania State Police Bureau of Liquor Control Enforcement. Captain Jacks has been serving food and drink before the customers were seated and were not requiring customers to wear masks. These occurrences in clear violation of Governor Wolf's COVID-19 rules and regulations. A bus driver was sentenced to jail for his role in a deadly bus crash. In 2018, Charles Dixon was sentenced to 9 to 20 years in prison for homicide by vehicle while driving under the influence, in addition to aggravated assault by vehicle while driving under the influence. Dixon was driving a big red bullet bus to New York City when he lost control of the bus and crashed off Interstate 380 in Covington Township. One passenger, 33-year-old Rebecca Blanco, was killed. Geisinger Health Network has announced that the number of COVID-19 hospitalizations has dropped significantly. As of March 5th, there are less than 65 COVID-positive patients being treated in Geisinger hospitals. This is a 20% drop in positive cases since January. Due to the decrease in cases, Geisinger hospitals are now able to reschedule all of their previously canceled procedures. When we come back, we'll tell you about how a record number of undocumented children are being kept in facilities meant for adults.
Awkward. I'm the awkward silence. You try to avoid me, then there I am again.
But an awkward silence can be a great thing.
Like Kelly here is about to demonstrate.
You haven't really been yourself lately. Are you okay?
Find out how you can help a friend with their mental health at seizetheawkward.org.
Bye-bye.
Hi. Hoping for a crisp breeze to help keep you alert. Oh, he took a sip of water too. That'll probably help. You were probably gonna turn down the radio too, so you could focus, right?
Probably okay isn't okay.
Right?
If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
I think the water line is what really drove it home. I blew on him.
If I could go back and change it all, I would. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Maybe it's just the little moments. If I could go back and change it all, if I could go back, I would. But I can't.
Sure, I look cute now, but when my owner lost his job, it was rough. I was living on the street, and one night, me and this Cocker Spaniel got into it so bad, I wound up looking like an ice cream cone. I cried a little bit, but thankfully I got rescued, so I'm running, I'm jumping, all back to my old self. And I'm ready to give unconditional love, even if you put a lampshade on my head.
Welcome back to TVM-News. A new investigation found a record number of undocumented children in facilities meant for adults. 3,200 unaccompanied migrant children are being held in Customs and Border Patrol facilities at the Mexican-American border. 170 of the children are under the age of 13, and more than half of all the children have been there longer than the 3-day legal limit. The children are being housed in what are commonly referred to as ice boxes, small rooms with a metal bench that are typically used for adult immigrants.
Popular California attractions will be allowed to reopen with limited capacity on April 1st. Attractions such as Disneyland, Dodger Stadium, and the San Diego Zoo have been closed for over a year due to the COVID-19 pandemic, but will be opening in less than 1 month to California residents only.
President Biden announced a deal to secure more doses of the COVID vaccine on Wednesday. The United States has obtained an additional 100,000 doses of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. With this new deal, the United States now has enough to vaccinate the entire population. Biden previously stated his goal is to have every adult vaccinated by the end of May.
Pope Francis visited the birthplace of Abraham during his trip to the Middle East last week. While there, the Pope had a historical meeting with the senior Shiite cleric in Iraq. The two religious leaders discussed how they could find unity between their two faiths.
The House passed the $1.9 trillion stimulus package this week. In a victory for President Biden, the stimulus package will provide $1,400 checks to Americans making under $80,000 a year and couples making jointly $160,000 a year or less. Dependents under 17 also receive a $1,400 check. Adult dependents are also included in this round of direct payments, a change from previous stimulus bills. The bill also extends unemployment benefits and provides funding for vaccinations.
Scientists in Oregon have discovered the mutated, more transmittable strand of the coronavirus that was originally only found in the UK in Oregon. So far, only one person in Oregon has tested positive for this strand. However, this strand is less susceptible to the vaccine.
Who let the dogs out? The White House is dog-free after an incident this week involving the president's dogs. Major Biden, the president's rescue German Shepherd, nipped a Secret Service agent's hand on Monday. The injury was described as extremely minor. Despite this, both Major and Champ have been sent to the Bidens' home in Wilmington, Delaware, where they are being watched by family friends.
The NASA rover Perseverance has taken its first drive on Mars. The rover went on a 33-minute test drive where it traveled about 21 feet and did a spin around the Jezero Canyon. The rover then sent a picture back to Earth of the tracks it made on Mars. When we come back, we'll check in with TVM sports anchors Cheyenne Amick and Eric Spivak to find out the latest in Marywood and professional sports.
Dora knows better than anyone. The best place to explore is the forest.
Boots! She knows this monkey? Of course, she knows this monkey.
Experience nature.
Let's go.
Connect with family.
I love you guys.
And find your own adventure in a forest or park near you.
Let's do this. Come on, Boots.
Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest or park near you.
Get it.
Get it.
Get it.
Give your town a reason to celebrate, because every Goodwill item you bring home brings job training and more to your community. Goodwill. Bring good home.
I'll be right back.
Hi. You think you're probably sober?
Yeah.
But you're thinking about taking the back roads home, just in case. If you're probably sober, then why would you do that? Good choice.
Probably okay isn't okay. If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
That's a full glass of wine. I'll be chatting you later.
Because of you, I feel not alone in this world. And you let me know that it only takes one person to make you feel wanted.
Welcome back to TVM News. Let's check in with Eric Spivak for the latest on Marywood sports. Eric, we've got nice weather. What's new in Marywood sports?
Well, Emma, Marywood's track and field teams have their first meet coming up.
That sounds great. Tell us more.
As the spring semester begins, games and meets are being scheduled. Marywood-University's track and field teams have their first meet against Westchester University on Saturday, April 3rd. This is exciting news because it is the team's first competition since the shutdown of their 2020 season last March. In addition to the exciting news of games being scheduled, the Atlantic East Conference updated its spectator policy. Each athlete will be able to invite 2 spectators to their respective home games and competitions. Each spectator will have to print and fill out a form granting them permission to attend the event. The presidents and directors of the Atlantic East Conference feel this decision will protect the university community while still allowing spectators to attend games. The Office of Public Safety will strictly enforce this policy. That's all for Marywood Sports. Let's check in with Cheyenne Amick for a professional sports update. Cheyenne, what do you have going on?
Thanks, Eric. March Madness starts next week, and things are going to look a little different. The 2021 NCAA Division I men's basketball tournament will be played entirely in Indiana, with most of the tournament's 67 games being played in the Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis. Selection Sunday is scheduled for March 14th, while the final 4 rounds are scheduled for April 3rd and 4th. Teams will practice in the Indiana Convention Center and will be housed on separate hotel floors. The teams will also have physically distanced meeting and dining rooms, along with secure transportation to and from competitions. CBC Sports and Turner Sports are set to air all 67 tournament games across TBS, CBS, TNT, TrueTV, and their respective digital platforms. To find out this year's March Madness tournament schedule along with additional information, check out www.ncaa.com. As the National Hockey League teams continue their season, the Pittsburgh Penguins add another win to their record after defeating the New York Rangers 2-4 on Tuesday night. Another exciting game took place on Tuesday evening with the Washington Capitals defeating the New Jersey Devils 5-4 in an overtime win. Spring training has officially started for Major League Baseball as the Detroit Tigers won a close 6-5 game over the New York Yankees on Tuesday. As the MLB's 2021 opening day approaches, fans wait anxiously to see their favorite teams in person. Last season, all regular season games and many postseason contests were played for empty stands, but that is changing for the 2021 season. Regulations will depend on each team based off of the state they're located in. These regulations are in place to ensure the safety of the fans, staff, and athletes. Wrigley Field, the home of the Chicago Cubs, will be one of the stadiums hosting a limited number of fans on opening day. The Cubs announced on Monday that the field will be operating at a 20% capacity to start the season. To find a list of what stadiums are letting fans hear the crack of the bat this summer, go to www.espn.com. That's all for sports. Back to the desk.
Thanks, Cheyenne and Eric. Last year, Australia was hit with devastating fires that took the habitats and homes away from many people and animals. After being treated for injuries and nursed back to health, 26 koalas are being released back into the wild. These koalas have been living at the Port Macquarie Koala Hospital located in South Wales and are being prepared to gradually return to their habitat. I just think it's so sweet that they would do that for those koalas.
I know, it's great to see what a difference a year makes.
That's going to do it for this week's edition of TVM News. From everyone at TV-Marywood, thanks for tuning in.
Be sure to follow TV-Marywood's YouTube page and like the TVM Facebook page to stay up to date on the latest happenings and to watch additional content. I'm Emma Rushworth.
And I'm Ellen Frantz. We'll see you next week.